At Sierra, discover joyous deals on great gifts for everyone on your list. Like cozy slippers, ski gear, fishing poles, bikes, large kayaks, even larger canoes. Whew, which might lead to another discovery. Wrapping gifts is the only sport you need to stay fit this season. 'Tis the season to discover great gifts at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Wayfair's big sale is returning. Get ready for Way Day. For 4 days only, score up to 80% off all things home with free shipping on everything. From October 26th through 29th, score Wayfair's best deals, like up to 80% off area rugs, up to 60% off mattresses, up to 60% off bedroom furniture, and more exclusive doorbuster deals. So mark your calendar and shop Way Day starting October 26th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
It's another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily, and I'm Dr. Neal Malik. Hey there, happy Friday, and welcome to my favorite part of this show, a Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily, where I answer your health questions related to fitness, diet and nutrition, and lots more. You send me the questions, and I answer them for you. Oh yeah, and if you're new here and you're wondering, why should you send me a question? What makes me so qualified? When I'm not here recording these shows, I spend a lot of my time as faculty within the California State University system. I've published peer-reviewed studies and have been interviewed by over 70 different media outlets for my expertise on basically all the stuff I talk about on this podcast. So all of this to say that when I provide my commentary after each episode and answer the questions you send in, I hope you feel as though it's coming from a place of truth. My only intention is to help you feel your best. So let's hear today's question as I help you optimize your life.
Hey, Dr. Neal. My question is about how minimal amounts of alcohol can impact your sleep quality. It's no question that if you go out at night on a weekend, it'll result in poor sleep, but I have noticed a decrease in my quality of sleep even if I have just one drink. On the rare occasion, I'll have a glass of wine with dinner when I cook at home. I eat pretty healthy, never have wine too close to bed, and always follow it with a few glasses of water, and I usually sleep around 7 hours a night. How come, when all of those factors are consistent, one glass of wine has me waking up feeling sluggish and tired the next day? Thanks.
Thank you for your question, Olivia. Whenever I discuss sleep, I like to use pets as an example. Picture a dog putting itself to sleep. Well, first, let's be honest. It has to sniff around the room a while to find that perfect spot. Then when it does find that oh-so-perfect place where there's just the right amount of sun, they'll then make 5 circles around that particular spot before finally flopping on their side. But not just flop anywhere. It has to be on that spot where half their body is getting direct sunlight and the other half is in the shade. Once this perfect spot has been found, sleep sets in quickly. Within just a few minutes, your dog will go from being completely awake to being in a state of deep sleep, where their eyelids are fluttering and their legs are twitching as visions of chasing some varmint dances through their heads. It's that deep restorative sleep that our pets and we as human beings need so badly. It's getting this deep restorative sleep that helps us perform at our best when we wake up. Animals like cats and dogs can achieve this state of deep restorative sleep really, really quickly. That's partly why they don't need to sleep for 7 or 8 continuous hours like we do. They can take a quick snooze or cat nap and be back up on their feet and ready to go after just 10 or 15 minutes of rest. As human beings, we actually have 2 stages of sleep that our bodies fluctuate in and out of throughout the night. There's the rapid eye movement or REM phase and the non-rapid eye movement NREM phase. To make things just a bit more complicated, the NREM phase or non-rapid eye movement phase actually has 4 stages, where stages 1 and 2 are what we would call light sleep, and stages 3 and 4 would mean the person is in deep sleep. So when someone is in stages 1 and 2, the slightest sound might wake them up. But in stages 3 and 4, it may be harder to wake them up. And it's these later stages, stages 3 and 4, that are most important for our health. Now, in case you're wondering how scientists identified these stages, they had people come into a sleep lab where they hooked them up to these machines that read their brain waves and their body temperature while they slept. Now remember, that's just NREM sleep that I described. REM sleep is also important for feeling your best. For most of us, it takes about 90 minutes to get to the REM phase of deep sleep. Remember how quick naps are so restorative for our pets? Well, we're built quite differently. We need a minimum of 7 hours to allow our bodies to go in and out of all the stages of NREM and REM sleep. When that happens, we wake up feeling refreshed. Okay, phew. Huge digression there, I know. Why did I bother explaining all of that when Olivia simply wanted to know why alcohol affects her sleep? It's because to truly understand this concept, you needed to know some of this background information. Depending on the amount of alcohol consumed, alcohol can act as a depressant. No, this doesn't mean that by drinking it you will feel depressed. It simply means that it tends to slow the body and mind down. Caffeine, on the other hand, is a stimulant in that it would have the opposite effect. It would speed things up. So, many folks will claim that alcohol makes them feel slightly sluggish or sleepy. And because of this effect, they may use alcohol to put themselves to sleep. After all, that's what nightcaps are for, right? Well, this is partly true. Alcohol can make you fall asleep faster, but some have a lower tolerance to this effect, where others may have a higher tolerance. Olivia, in your case, you may have a lower tolerance to alcohol in general. For others, they may not quite have the same response. Maybe they can consume more alcohol and not fall asleep as quickly or feel as groggy the next day. But here's the really interesting thing. Regardless of whether you have a high or a low tolerance to alcohol, while you're asleep, what's happening is your body is still metabolizing that alcohol and clearing it from your system. So at some point during the night, while you're asleep, something called a rebound effect happens. This means that instead of acting as a depressant like it normally would, once the alcohol clears your system, your body starts to wake up. And if you're an otherwise healthy person with a normal functioning liver, this can happen 4 to 5 hours after you fall asleep, depending on how much alcohol you consumed before you hit the hay. Think about it. The body is starting to wake up right in the middle of your sleep cycles. This is when you're supposed to be moving in and out of stage 2 of non-rapid eye movement and REM sleep. And sure enough, this is what scientists have discovered, that when alcohol is consumed before bedtime, the body spends less time in the REM phase of the sleep cycle. So you end up feeling tired and groggy the next day, even though you may have slept for the recommended 7 to 8 hours. And that's because alcohol started waking you out of that deep restorative sleep. Added to this is the effect that alcohol may have on hormones, like growth hormone. Alcohol may decrease the amount of growth hormone secreted during sleep, which will definitely influence any gains you were hoping to achieve from your workout earlier in the day. So the bottom line is this. Yes, for some people, alcohol may help put them to sleep faster. But for many, during the night, when the alcohol finally clears your system, it actually may force your body to start to wake up and disrupt that deep restorative sleep that you so very need. Right now, there's a talented person out there who could take your company to the next level. Do you want to hope they see your job post before your competitors? Or do you want to match with them with Indeed sponsored jobs? Stop struggling to get your job post even seen on other sites. Give your job the best chance to be seen with Indeed sponsored jobs. When I was looking to hire, it was so slow and overwhelming. I wish I had used Indeed. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results now with Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Do it the right way with Indeed.
Rinse takes your laundry and hand delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded, so you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this Tea Time You.
So did you hear about Dave?
Or even Tea Time You.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.
Thank you again for the question, Olivia. Now, if you want to send your questions in and get a copy of our Optimal Living Daily Workbook for doing so, you can email them to health@oldpodcast.com. That's health@oldpodcast.com. Or if you want your voice played on the show, come by oldpodcast.com/ask. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way and call in your question. The number is 1-61-I-LOVE-OHD. That's 1-614-568-3643. Thank you so much for sending me your questions. Answering them is one of my favorite parts of this show. All right, that's another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily. Thank you so much for listening every day and all the way through. I hope you have a great start to your weekend, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.